Put your feet up and relax. Today, I'm going to teach you the easiest crochet slipper pattern. I'm Little John Yarns and I create new patterns every single week. So make sure you click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you're always up to date with what's going on. These slippers are super comfy. They can be worn folded down like boots or pulled up like slipper socks. It's created using the front post double crochet, which is super easy and I'll teach you how to do in this video. In this tutorial, I'll give you pattern instructions for all adult sizes. And the stitches that we'll be using in this tutorial will be chain stitch, double crochet stitch, front post double crochet, and back post double crochet. The materials we'll be using are 3 skeins of Lion Brand wool spun and a 5.5mm crochet hook. We're going to start off by making a magic ring. And chain 2. 1, 2. Your chain 2 does not count as a double crochet or a stitch. We're going to place 12 double crochet into the ring. If your feet are wider, please place 14 double crochet into the ring. Okay, you can pause your video here and continue to place your 12 or 14 double crochet into this ring. Okay, we've made it back around and we're going to slip stitch into the very first double crochet. And now we're going to chain 1. This chain 1 does not count as a stitch. We're going to begin by doing 2 front post double crochets in each stitch all the way around. So to do that, you yarn over. To do a front post, you go through your double crochet. You go in through the back and push that stitch to the front to create a front post double crochet. And you complete it by going through your 2 loops, and you go through your 2 loops again. Alright, let's do another front post double crochet into the very same stitch. So yarn over, wrap around that post just like before, pushing it forward, and complete your double crochet. That's 2 in 1 stitch. Let's do the next front post double crochet. Yarn over, we're going to push that post to the front, and complete your double crochet. And we're going to place a second one into that stitch again. And that's how you place 2 front post double crochets into each stitch. So you're going to pause your video here and continue placing 2 front post double crochets into each one of your stitch all the way around, and I'll meet you back at the other side. Okay, we've made it back around and we're going to slip stitch to join into the very first front post double crochet. So find that stitch and slip stitch to join. Chain 1. Your chain 1 does not count as a stitch. We're going to place just 1 single front post double crochet into each one of your stitches all the way around. So double crochet, front post double crochet, go into your next one and just do a front post double crochet. Okay, you can pause your video here and continue placing front post double crochet in each stitch all the way around until we make it back to the other side. You've made it back around and we're going to slip stitch to join into the very first stitch. And we're going to chain 1. We're going to repeat the last row an additional 10 more times. And this is for a size 8, but if you're adjusting for your own size, you're going to continue completing rows until it meets the front of your ankle when you try it on. I'll leave a picture in the next scene. So pause your video here and I'll meet you at the very next step. To adjust for your size, try your slipper on, and once it meets the front of your heel, that's when you'll stop adding rows. Now we're going to begin working on the heel. So we'll start by chaining 1, and we're going to front post double crochet in each stitch around, but we're going to leave the last 6 stitches unworked. So continue placing front post double crochet in each stitch around, and we're going to leave the last 6 stitches unworked. So pause your video here. Okay, we've made it back to the other side, and as you can see, we left the last 6 stitches unworked. So now we're done working in the round and we're just going to start creating rows back and forth. We'll start by chaining 1, turn your work. We're going to put a double crochet into this very first stitch right here. And your next stitch is going to be a back post double crochet. We've been doing front, but we're going to do back post now. So yarn over, we're going to go behind your work, and we're going to push that stitch to the back. So it's going to match all the stitches on the other side. And complete your double crochet. I'll show you again. Yarn over, go behind your work, and we're going to push that stitch to the back and complete your back post double crochet. One more time, yarn over, push your work to the back, and complete your double crochet. All this does is create the matching stitches on the other side. So continue placing back post double crochet all the way across your work until you make it to the other side. And we've made it back to the other side, but we're going to work the very last back post together. It's kind of hard to see. It's connected with a chain 1 in the corner, and that double crochet is right there kind of hidden. So let's work that back post. So go behind your work and sneak behind that little chain 1 stitch and complete your back post double crochet. Like I said, that stitch is very easy to miss. So for your next row, chain 1, turn your work. We're going to go back to front post double crochet. So go behind this stitch and push it forward and complete your front post double crochet. And front post into the next stitch and each stitch all the way across. So you can pause your video here and continue placing front post double crochet in each stitch across until we make it to the other side. And I'll do the last stitch with you. Okay, we made it back to the other side, and once again that very last stitch can be very easy to miss. So we'll work that front post together. So we're going to go into our work and push that stitch forward and complete our front post double crochet. Okay, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to repeat the last 2 rows an additional 2 more times. So when you're all done, it'll be an additional 4 more rows. So I'll leave a timestamp below so you know exactly where to start those last 2 rows. Here's what it looks like complete, but to get your exact size, try on your slipper and create as many rows as it takes to reach the back of your heel. Make sure it's slightly longer so we can sew up the back side. Once you get the heel the length that you like, we're just going to turn our work inside out, and we are going to sew the heel together. Or you can just slip stitch the join together. That's what I'm going to do. So let me get my yarn situated. Everybody does theirs differently. This is how I do mine. Okay, and I'm just going to go through the front stitch and a back stitch and slip stitch to join loosely so it's not puckered. Front, back, oops, back of your work, slip stitch to join. Alright, we're going to do this all the way across, and once you make it to the other end, we are just going to fasten off our work. Okay, I've made it to the other end of my stitches. Hold on, let me get a good slip stitch to join. And now I'm just going to fasten off my work. Now go ahead and turn your slipper the right side out. Okay, this is what your slipper should look like. And what you're going to do now, you're just going to attach another piece of yarn to the very back of your work. I already did that. And we are going to evenly place double crochets all the way around the side. So we're going to chain 1 and evenly spaced double crochets going all the way around the side of your work. Alright, continue placing evenly spaced double crochets until you make it into your stitch before your open 6 double crochets here. So pause your video here and just complete the side. Okay, we made it to the stitch right before your open 6 front post double crochets. And I did about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stitches on the side so far. So we are going to front post double crochet this previous row right here, double crochet. So that gives it a nice, almost seamless blend into your little stitches. And now those 6 front post double crochet that we left open from the previous row, we're just going to front post double crochet that. I'm just going to move quickly so I won't have to pause the video and have you catch up. So excuse my very fast fingers. If I'm going too fast, just pause the video until I get to the very next section. Alright, I did those 6 front post double crochet that were left open. And just so I can smooth into the next side, I'm going to front post double crochet this one right here that goes along the seam. Front post double crochet. Alright, once again we are on the side and we're just going to evenly space regular double crochets going around the side until you make it to the other side. So I'm going to try to keep it even with the opposite side, so I did about 8 of those. So I'll do probably another 8 for this side. If your ankle is a little bit bigger, add some more stitches. So pause your video here and continue placing evenly spaced double crochets. Okay, we made it back around and we are going to slip stitch to join into the very first double crochet. Alright, this next row is going to be a pattern repeat for the next 6 rows. So we're just going to chain 1 and we're going to go back to our front post double crochets. Front post double crochet in each stitch all the way around. Alright, we're going to do that for a total of, how many times did I say so? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, I had to pause the video to remember what number of rows we did. But we're going to do this for additional 6 more rows. So pause your video here and continue placing front post double crochet in each stitch around to form a nice little ankle circle for another 6 more rows. Okay, once you finish your additional 13 rows, you're just going to slip stitch to join into the very first stitch and fasten off your work. You can either wear your boot exactly like this, your slipper, or you can fold your slipper over and wear it like so. Great job finishing this pattern. If you like it, don't forget to share and subscribe. Also, don't forget to check out my other crochet tutorials. Alright guys, I'll see you all on the very next pattern.